You guys are about to go on a gallery walk. Alright, so,
Talking about the fuels.
the, what?
The fuels supposed to-
No, not the pills. Okay, so, last week we read The Monkey's Paw. We made our plot mountains. We talked about the story. So our end goal today is we're taking a test from Sirius over The Monkey's Paw, so it's going to look like a star test. And I'm gonna be kind of strange. I'm gonna have you take it on paper, but we'll talk about that. But what I've done for you is out in the hallway, you have the questions from your test posted. Some of the all the questions have annotations. So annotations are like my underlining and my notes. And then some of the questions are said another way. So I'm taking the original star question, pretend like star is its own language. And we're translating star language into everyday speech, into a question you might recognize and feel familiar with. All right, you'll have in your packet places to write these things down. And then you'll come back and you'll use your notes on your test. All right, so before we start into the specifics of what we're doing, I want you to remember the story. All right, so I'm going to play a clip from The Simpsons. Now tell me, what's in The Simpsons? Is that going to be exactly the story from your test?
No.
No, right? It's a retelling, it's a reinterpretation. But let's use this to remember what we read. Our reinterpretation, but what it captured was the way the wishes in our story all carried a negative consequence with them. Alright, so go ahead and take your first page, turn it back. We're on the top of the back of the first page. It says annotating questions for the gallery walk. Instructions. For each question, copy down the correct annotations and the question said another way. So let's practice in the classroom. So when you walk around the hallway, you will see questions. So if you look at your number 2 in your packet, it says, what sentence from the selection tells me more about the warning that Mr. and Mrs. White receive about the monkey's paw? So you'll see that question posted in the hallway. So here it's posted on the board. And you will see my notes, my annotations on the question. So right now, I want you to copy down my notes and my underlines. So add that to your question in the packet. And while you're doing that, I'll tell you, when you're in the hallway, what? Number 2. It's question number 2 in your packet. In the hallway, my notes will be made in red. And in the hallway, what's in red is what you're going to write down on your question. So right here.
Right here.
Yeah. So all of my little notes, all of my underlines and brackets, you're gonna add to your question too. And these annotations are to help you break down, what is this question asking for? So right here, so you see how I underline tells more about. So you'll underline tells more about, and beside it, right, gives a hint about.
Okay, so we got
Right, so the question's already right there. So, yeah, so like I underline tells more about, you're going to underline tells more about. So right now, you're not writing down the question, you're copying my notes onto the question that's already typed. So you see on the board, I underline tells more about. So you're gonna underline tells more about. And I wrote gives me a hint about. So right beside it, right, gives me a hint about. annotations. So this is one type of card you'll see out there. Jose? Another type of card you'll see out there is called Said Another Way. So that's translating the STAR language into words we might use. So this question too, said another way, in the intro, which of these phrases hint that there are consequences to the monkey's paw? So what you're going to do, so underneath where question 2 is, where it says said another way, you are going to write this part down. In the hallway, the said another way will be in purple. Like when you see it, so we whisper. Alright, because there are other classes going on. We're not peeking in the windows of the classroom doors looking for our friends. We're not going to the bathroom. We're not leaving the 8th grade hallway.
Is that hints or
Hints, H-I-N-T-S. When we're out in the hall, there's about 24 different spaces, 24 things you're gonna be looking at. No more than 3 people per space. If there's 3 people there, move on to another. The questions in the hallway are not in order, and you do not have to go in order. You just need to pay attention to what number is on each piece of paper and match it to the numbers in your packet.
Does that say monkeys on the restaurant?
Monkey's paw, yes. Alright, so I know a lot of you aren't done with this part. This part's staying on the board. So what I want us to do is bring your Chromebook for something to write on. You're gonna use your Chromebook like your clipboard. And we're gonna quietly gather right outside the door. And I'm gonna show you what you're looking at. So come join me right outside the door. 13, turn your packet to the back. Number 13 is your last question.
Wow.
So right there, it says, what line of dialogue from this story best supports the answer to part A? Your 13 on the back of your packet says the same thing. So you do not have to write the question. You are going to add what's in red to your question in the packet. So everyone take a minute to do that. Add what's in red to the question in your packet. So right here. Make sure you're looking at 13. So whenever you come upon a paper like this, you want to match the number to the number in your packet, and you're writing down or adding what's in red to your question. So we have line of dialogue is group of words. Then we have brackets around supports the answer to part A. And then our note there is shows that my answer is right. All right, so now what I want everyone to do is just turn around and look at this wall. You can finish your notes later, turn around, and now you have one in purple and then find question 3 in your packet. Now, this one says, said another way. So on number 3, you're looking for where it says, said another way. And you're writing down what's in purple. So you will write down, under said another way, how does the arrival of the company men move the story forward?
Do we write down number 3?
Yes, under said another way. Under said another way.
So you're gonna do that with everything?
With everything. They're up and down the whole length of our hallway. So once you get this and number 13 done, spread out, find some room. Remember, no more than 3 people for gallery showing, all right? And you will have 25 minutes
Then we go to lunch.
in the hallway, and then we'll get ready for lunch, yeah. All right, so spread out, you have 25 minutes. Remember, these turn into notes you're going to use on your test. So it's worth reading that. So spread out, once you got this. There's some all the way down there, there's some all the way down there by Mrs. Jerry. And whisper voices.
Forgot about that giving you guilt. When you so glad he stopped wearing it.